a minute late, but I'll let him slide if he will.
Still out
They've
there.
been around with us a long time as far as I.
So I was minding you, I was gonna say,
Two-bird?
Is it?
No?
Well, my husband does, I might look it up there.
There it is.
It's charged.
No, you take it.
Actually, I had sent him
Pass it
on
down,
to
please.
get it for me, so it came from him to me to you.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened?
You were being coy anyway, I knew something was going on.
Thank you.
Probably just extra.
You got extras,
Or maybe.
Yeah, they went all the way around, Matt.
okay,
They
perfect.
did.
I'll take that one back then, thank you, Jen.
Well, just the same.
Sure.
Okay. I got 11 copies.
We're gonna switch it.
Maybe not, never mind. What do you do with those last? You want to switch?
We did for the selectmen, and next year I should, but it was already on the agenda this morning,
It's like
so.
you can now do the wire.
But really, it should be the whole.
Push in there.
Warrant articles and revenues, 100%
You're always
agree.
first.
This is the order of the budget,
Oh.
if you remember last year. Shuffled up everything to.
I'm all right.
Oh, yeah.
But it really doesn't make sense.
Laura, you all set? Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. We'll stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Bob's not here. Catherine? Michael's not here. Crystal?
Here.
Edwina?
Here.
Lynn?
Here.
Jennifer?
Here.
Susan?
Here.
Jonathan?
Present.
Matt?
Here?
TJ?
Yep.
Andrea's not here. Okay? Everybody take a minute, and we only have the minutes for the October 15th meeting. We don't have one for the 22nd, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
I
so,
interrupted too much.
take a minute, read over the minutes. I will entertain a motion to accept, or any corrections. Hey Laura, Bob's gonna have to sign that one,
Yes, I know.
huh?
I know,
So.
because you weren't here for that one.
Yeah. Will you put it in front of me? I know,
Put that
force to
in front
have
of
it.
you. Yes.
TJ, this is not right. Page.
Sure. No one said that?
No, that's.
Oh, yeah.
Page 4 on the top.
I don't know, I don't have, I don't
You said
have that,
$20,
so I can't tell you.
But I don't, I thought it was
It's
55.
$24.
That would be
$24.
Right.
It was 144 before.
Right.
I say, I didn't bring a copy of the county.
It was $27.
I say, I don't have that.
What?
Do
That
we,
paperwork.
Help looking to get it was 27 bucks.
I know, but I think you said 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're reporting.
Yeah.
Matt,
which one is she referring to?
She wants to know what one you were referred to.
Oh, the EDC budget for last year,
Yep.
what was it? I thought it was 75.
Well, I guess, this year.
I'll be able to answer that
And no, I think it
momentarily.
was
That's
8,000
the
last year.
magic left.
EDC.
My laptop is struggling with the Wi-Fi in here, but.
I move we accept the minutes of October 15th as presented.
I have a correction. I should have spoke up. There's one on page 4 or 5, in the top. TJ was talking about the benefit, it's just a dollar figure, regarding the oil change. This says it went from 120, then 144. TJ said, I think 20 or $24,
It's
correct?
$24 for an oil
So,
change.
$24?
yeah, it should be 120.
The question was, what was the economic count, the economic budget for last year, right? The
Oh,
past,
this year. Well,
this year's presented
Yeah.
budget? Oh, in
No, no.
2025.
Yeah.
Last town meeting, 7,300.
Pardon me?
7,300 passed?
73 for the year 2025?
Yes.
Okay, because that's where I don't understand where it says here, Jim Miller of the 78 budgeted 300 and the remaining 75. So you're saying it was, I'm sorry, 7 what?
73.
73 is what passed.
73 for 2025?
Yep.
Okay, so then he's saying 7,800 is a decrease of,
So,
of,
he said, you're quoting the minutes?
yeah, and so in the minutes it says
Yeah, she's talking about.
that they're requesting 7,800 for the coming year.
Yeah, so they're looking at their,
Didn't they encumber some
they
money?
encumbered $600
That's why.
was carried over from that signed budget, so it's built in to this column. So when there's a purchase order for an existing expense, it can carry over for 1 year. So this is like $600 artificially high essentially because of the encumbrance. So if you refer to your expenditure sheets, if it's right, and there are errors sometimes, but there's an encumbered column, and that would mean that there's a purchase order in place, and if it is from the prior year, it'll add to the budget side, but also the encumbered or spent side. It's earmarked to be spent for something, and under New Hampshire municipal law, you can carry over for 1 year if there's a purchase order in place. So
So that's 600.
that's 601 maybe, based on looking at this. I think it's $601.
Oh, yeah, I get it, all right.
Okay, any other errors or omissions?
Just on the first page, it said that Rokes abstained, and it says she was not in attendance. Just a small thing, but unless something has changed. I don't know, maybe I'm not up on anything.
Don't know what he identifies as.
I don't know.
Touchy subject.
It should be Parker. Instead of Rokes, it should be Parker. I abstained because I wasn't there at the meeting before, so I wasn't involved with those minutes.
Oh, so you're saying instead of,
Okay.
she, oh, okay, so it would be, instead of Rokes would be Parker, then the she stinks.
That's what she said.
Okay, any other errors or omissions?
So on page 3, it was something that I had inquired about, and I couldn't necessarily figure out or remember it, but the way that it's worded, and maybe Jonathan or Matt can help. I brought up the proposed warrant article that was discussed at the selectmen's meeting that I was at.
Right.
But I think it needs to be stated in here what that was, and I can't remember what I said, but I know that
That was a property ETF, building maintenance ETF.
building maintenance.
Correct.
Yes.
It wasn't stated, that's why it's worded this way.
Well, we talked about building maintenance, so I don't know.
Maybe I talked about it, and maybe you just referred to it as a warrant article, so you assumed, you followed up on maybe probably what we said, so
Yeah.
that's probably where it
Okay.
got lost. Yeah.
Well, somewhere it should be the word, the property maintenance ETF fund, because there are several ETF funds, you know. No?
Well, I mean, if it wasn't actually said, Laura really can't add it as, you can't amend the minute to add
Okay,
something.
I'll go
that
back
wasn't
and
said.
look at the.
Yeah, so you'd have to actually watch
I'll look
the,
at
right.
that.
That's the only
Thank
thing
you.
you can do.
Okay, any others? All right, a motion to accept with corrections? Okay, Lynn is nodded her head yes. You have a second?
I'll second Lynn's amendment.
And motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And it's accepted. All right, the elections is a correction sheet from last week.
Yeah, it was edited for minor, two things, the audio video costs for a town meeting.
What do you do?
Audio, I guess there's no video, thank
video.
you. Correction noted. And the food for the the election staff. So Kelly wasn't aware that got coded to elections, so she asked if we could just amend it for those small amounts.
Okay. Any questions, Lynn?
All set, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, we're good on that one. All right, Selectmen's Office.
So it took some finagling, but I'm proud to present a budget with a 2.6% increase overall, with some significant increases on some areas. We were able to do a complete deep dive and sort of take a little bit of risk, I guess, in a few areas. With the wages, we had to swap some for part-time that were in full-time prior, and retirement. We think because we are a little bit more part-time staff than than full-time now, we're comfortable cutting a little bit of there, and also in health insurance. It could come back to bite us, but we felt like that was some fat that we could possibly trim to try to keep this under a 3% increase. If you go down, the big increases are technology, which has been a recurring theme. We don't get our Microsoft license. They renew in July, so it's very hard to budget not knowing what Microsoft will go up. We're also in a very accountable world now where not only we have a new person in the rec department that's full-time that has a login, but in the past people could share logins. That world doesn't really exist anymore. Everybody has a name-based credential and they're responsible for their own. So Microsoft has a license fee for all of that. So between those factors and the host of the web service, our URL to have the website domain has doubled. You'll find that the technology continues to increase. If you look, we've already expended $75,000, which is over budget, and this was run in September, so 80,000 is probably a pipe dream, but I really didn't want to put any more of an increase in there than I had to. Telephone and internet is kind of the same thing. Those costs technologically have gone up. I do hope to maybe prove to have a surplus in that line after the coming year, because I just switched all the town buildings over to Fidium fiber, so not only do we get far better bandwidth, so where we have multiple people online at once, we also have cameras, which are incredible drain on upload bandwidth. So we'll have the bandwidth to service everything better, but also I actually think it's going to be a net reduction. Our analysis is a net reduction in cost, but I'm not comfortable forecasting that yet until we get a year in with Fidium. But overall, you'll see a 2.6% increase is what I'm presenting.
I just want to add something on top of that. So Matt obviously commented about the part-time positions here. Last week, we talked about if this changes at some point in the future, you're going to see quite a large increase if these positions end up going full-time at some point, which you never know what the future holds. But we talked about the healthcare alone being $44,000 for a family plan. So when you budget for another full-time position, you have to budget for that because you never know who you're going to hire. And you can't ask in an interview what kind of health insurance you need. That's illegal. So you have to budget for the worst-case scenario. So just those two factors alone.
And the pension's another 14%.
Pension's another 14%.
Salary.
So we're talking, we got some significant savings here, keeping this budget down just with going part-time employees. We've done that here. We've done that at the transfer station. And ultimately, the taxpayer gets a good benefit for what being spent.
Okay, Lynn?
How you do with Outlook with DRA?
For the tax rate setting? Hard to tell. I can't answer yet. I've done everything I need to do.
Okay.
It takes them a while, so you upload the document, they have to review it and acknowledge it, and then check it off on the checklist. I don't want to show you the checklist because there's a lot of things outstanding, but it isn't for lack of us doing what we need to. The school, I believe, has stuff outstanding, and at least one village district does, so it's on my radar, but I'm not overly optimistic it's going to be on the early side.
Okay, thank you.
To be honest, yeah.
Okay, Crystal? Susan?
I just have one thing. On the overtime, there's a lot of, you've cut back to a lot of part-time and the overtime went up. There was, that gets picked up over there. I just know that working in the medical profession, that when they cut back on employees and other people pick up, I mean, Matt, you've been doing tremendous trying to print out these, budget sheets and everything else. It's just that at a point, it's, besides the overtime, you're going to stress your employees. I mean, the highway department works all full-time because they have, they do a lot of work. They, you can't possibly cut back, so there's certain factors in that you need to know what works part-time and what, works full-time. And I think, having employees do twice as much work, it ends up stressing the system. At some point, you're gonna have to pick up on full-time, and I know you're trying to save money and you're doing a great job that way, but, my biggest thing was the financial, that. And, we've had 4 checks that have been wrong. I mean, just trying to keep an eye on things, and like you said, everybody makes a mistake, but I know in the medical profession, I can't afford, if I'm taking care of you, to be making a mistake, and I know with my tax dollars, I don't like to see that either. So, weighing out full-time and part-time and overstressing your employees, and you've got overtime, sometimes the budget gets expended more by paying overtime because now you're working people overtime, so. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah. Right.
So we don't pay overtime to any of these 2 part-time positions. The overtime line that you see in here.
Goes to full-time, I know, right?
No,
No?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, it doesn't, no. So the 2 part-time positions cover themselves. And the 2 people that are doing it currently in those positions are not overstressed. They're just very efficient at what they do.
Okay.
And they get the job done in half the amount of hours compared to what it used to be. The overtime line was expended only because we had to have Angie fill in above and beyond.
Right.
But she willingly did that, and she was Employee of the Year for that.
Right.
When we had a member out for illness. So that's the only reason why you see overtime use here. Normally, we budget $500, but it's rarely used. This is an exceptional year due to a long medical leave, and that person filled in. Angie stepped up to the plate, and she helped the town out, all the elected boards in that same process. So
Strong, Angie.
yeah, thank you, Angie. So that's really what it's used for.
Okay.
But thank you.
Okay. Catherine? No? Edwina? Nothing? Jennifer?
All set.
All set? Okay, we'll take that one under advisement. On to the police department.
Chief?
Keith?
All right. Training. Last year was 12, this year we're up to 13
$35.95, I'm requesting 14. With full personnel, that's gonna help. Last year we were down, so we used some other money for different training. Conference and dues, last year was 2, asking 4,000 because we have more personnel this year. Disease prevention, 5 to 7, just extra equipment and the cost of pricing for the equipment. Same with office supplies, 4,500 to 5, requesting 1,000 more. With the items going up in cost. Investigative supplies was at 2,500 for a while. I'm asking 35 because we have a detective now and there's new style of investigating and we do need some equipment. Uniform and maintenance to outfit a policeman from the start is about $5,000 and we have been without full department. So we have one open position right now and that's why it's going to go from 12 to 15 if we do need it, with the being fully staffed. Radio maintenance is 2 going to 3, with just the cost of electronics. Computer maintenance, asking 45. Last year was 45. We're at 37. I'm asking close to 70. And one side of this is Armon has the contract with the town. Their request, and we have computers that are becoming outdated and currently they're on a lease program. So we need to continue that lease program. And part of this is also the county is going to a new software program for dispatch and reporting. It's through IMC, which is Central Square. Central Square is coming up with ProSuite. And we really don't have much of a say in it because we're at the county's beck and call. If they go, we have to go. And it's a better system, so that's why that's going up. Going up to part-time wages, this department don't have any part-time officers. That is for our part-time prosecutor. And overtime, as you can see, it was at 45, we're at 32, I'm requesting 45. Again, with being short-staffed, there was a lot of overtime used, and hopefully we won't have to use it, but you never know what can happen.
Okay.
That's, any questions on that?
Lynn?
No questions, thank you.
Crystal?
Nope.
Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
No questions.
Okay, we'll take that one under advisement. By the way, tonight is police night. We have donuts.
Oh, there you go.
Funny.
I had to get it in. Okay, special duty pay?
Yes, as you can see, we had a busy year last year. That was with all the fiber. So, that there is also reimbursed to the town. So every single dollar that's spent on special duty is reimbursed back to the town. 70 goes towards the officer, 20 goes for admin fee. So the town actually gets every single red cent. To this date, with that expenditure from 2025, the town has been paid that back. So I'm requesting, I think, just about the same.
Lynn?
No questions on special duty, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that's an in and out figure.
Yes.
All right, dog officer.
It's going up 1,000, I think, just to keep up with times and the cost of everything else, and to try to keep a dog officer employed.
It's $50.
Yes. But I think it went from 12 to 13.
Yeah, can I,
Yes.
so basically the new person's going to like a 1099 contract employee, so you see a reduction in the payroll withholdings, the
Yeah.
payroll tax, but we're bumping her up from 12,000 to 13,000. On their, it's a stipend, correct?
It's a stipend, it's a monthly stipend.
Stipend, so that's why it's 14,500 and it's up $50 overall.
Okay. Lynn?
Okay, you're paying her 13,000 and you're taking away FICA and Medicare?
She's gonna be a 1099 contract.
Okay,
as well.
1099,
Yeah,
all right,
so,
okay.
Okay, Crystal? Susan?
What's the 1,500 for, I mean,
Humane Society.
yeah,
You just donate to the Humane Society, it's part of dealing with the dog officer. bringing
It's not a
dogs in.
donation,
No.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a
budget
fee or
for if
something,
they go get dogs on our behalf or we have to store them there.
But we still have to pay storage fees.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
okay.
So,
It's not-
if an officer or the ACO goes out and catches a dog, we bring them to the Humane Society. If they're chipped, the owner's responsible, so that covers the cost of that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Catherine? No? Okay, we know?
Good.
Gentlemen?
All set.
Thank you.
Okay. Insurance.
Kind of explanatory, this is our Primex, so this is not our health insurance, it's our unemployment, workers' comp, and general means property and liability. These are the amounts that we're up and we're required to pay it, basically.
Hey, Lynn?
So the workman's comp is based on what you actually pay for the year, right?
I don't know the formula of the algorithm they use, but it is based on risk times,
Claims, Robert?
well, exactly, so risk in terms of claims and what your payroll data is and whatever else maybe they project for if a recession's coming, they charge more type of thing. I'm not sure what their formula is, but
Okay, thank you.
thanks.
Okay, Chris? Susan? Catherine? Edwin?
All set.
Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, water department.
What are you looking at?
Did I miss the ambulance?
Go.
Yeah, go ahead, if it's not in here, I'll just
It must have got-
or it's out of order, one or the other.
All right, I'll answer both. The water and the sewer department
Must have got missed.
we're gonna be having a public hearing. The board is gonna have a public hearing. We're gonna put not just base rate, but usage up 10%. We've talked about this for 6 years in budget committee about putting money away. But we can't do it when we're running shoestring, and when you fix a pump at the water pump station, and it's 3 times as much as it was 4 years ago, it's hard to even get by. Water main breaks are double the cost. Down on Door Street, we had a break, Neil and I went to it, there's a valve there. We just replaced it with a cap. The cap used to be $300 or $400, now it's $1,400. It's just, everything's gone through the roof. The chemicals that we're putting in, the caustic soda, is a lot more, double from 5 years ago in some ways. We gotta start putting money away because we're not gonna expand the system, but you gotta keep the system clean and efficient. And to do that, we're having to do things now with the guys making tools, putting things off till January 1st to make sure we have the money. Well, water and sewer is not the place to do that because it becomes a mess. We had a lot of issues this year with electrical breakers in the pump station. So I think it's time to go up. I think there's gonna be a yearly increase. We haven't gone up in a long time and we didn't go up much last time we did it. So it's just like your cable bill, your electrical bill, it's just everything costs more. And then if the town still wants to have water and sewer department, we have to pull up on costs.
I'll just add a couple of things to, if I can, Joe. These systems are required by law to be self-funded, meaning you can't commingle the funds, you can't use no general taxpayer funds to make these systems operate. So if we don't start investing, saving money and putting it aside and preparing for the long run, we're gonna end up being put into a hole at some point in the future. This system's run by basically 2 people. We used to have another full-timer in there, which we did away with. That was a huge savings to the the users of this system. So 2 people running a water and sewer system is actually pretty impressive. But to back up on what TJ said, we are gonna be having a discussion on fees. We talked a little bit about it in the meeting already, I believe, at some point in the future, and it's necessary.
Lynn?
Are you gonna have a warrant article to set up a trust fund?
No, it's gonna be an increase of, we already have a
We have a
capital
capital
reserve.
Yeah, we already have that.
So what my thought was is you can have a third-party company come in and tell you what increases you have, but then you just spent, say, I don't know, but say you spend 20 grand, well, that 20 grand, looking at it, 10% is a number that won't hurt the user much, but it will give us, as you can see, it was an 8% increase this year. It'll give us a little bit more room to work on water mains. We put 2% away. So you always gotta put away. We've talked about this every year, and that system has to, because it's pretty much its own town, so.
And they do have a small fund balance, water.
They do, but we're cutting into it hard when we have these
We
water
have
main
had
breaks,
to, yeah.
or when we have to clean a lagoon, or like right now, we have a leach bed that needs to be done. It was 30,000 in 2020, it's 70 now, so it all adds up.
Thank you.
And we need to prepare for what's coming. This is water, I know that, but
Yeah.
these are both the same thing. We need to prepare for what's coming, because DES is shutting our lagoons down in 2029 or 30. 2030, and that's gonna really hurt us, because it takes all our revenue pretty much away.
Yeah, so that,
And it's gonna affect the non-paying members, because they're gonna have to pay for their septic to be pumped out of their septic and go all the way to Comeau or down south. They can't go to Ossipee anymore. So
Yep.
when you have your septic pumped, it's gonna cost more.
so we were gonna hit on that when we got to the sewer budget, but we might as well since we're talking about it. Myself, Matt, and TJ, along with Senator McConkey, went and met with the DES commissioner and several other high-level officials to have deep discussion about this. And we tried every angle, what could we do, what are our options, and there really are no options. Put a sewer treatment plant in, which, multi-million dollars. There are grants, but the grants are so competitive. You have cities like Manchester, Nashua, Concord, who are higher priority due to population density. So we just wouldn't qualify for grants for a sewer treatment plant, especially for a system our size. So 2030, it's huge revenue loss. Hauling of septic for everybody in the area, all adjoining towns is gonna go up because they can't bring it there. It's gonna have to go Farmington or Concord, or where's the other one? I forget.
Ashland or Plymouth.
Ashland or Plymouth or something, so they're gonna have to travel a distance to dispose of the septage from everyone's home. So this is an inevitability that we have to start planning for by increasing rates. That's obviously for the sewer line next, sewer department.
Okay, Lynn?
That's a whopper.
Yeah. Crystal? Susan? Heather? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, Joel?
So same thing on here. There is a pretty good increase in infrastructure maintenance. Our lagoons are about 40,000 to clean. We just clear cut, I don't know, it was like 2.5 acres, right? 2.5 acres of where we can spread which we have to do is clean the lagoons out, spread it out evenly. It has to sit until it gets the right pH level, and then we land apply it or put it in a pile and wait. So we had to do that. When we have our next lagoon, it was 37,430. Next year, no one's what the increase is, so we put it up 10 grand there. And then system maintenance, I went up because we have some things coming down at the pump station. We have to put an diesel tank in that's gonna be above ground. So it's not the one that that big generator needs to be able to hold more diesel because it's a huge cat generator and it sucks it down pretty fast. So we're gonna have to have some kind of containment. But just like I said on this one, 10% increase is gonna be the same thing. If we went up 7, we'll be able to put 3% away. We talked about what's gonna happen with the haulers, and we just gotta prepare for it. Gotta have money put away to prepare for it.
Okay, Lynn?
You said there's gonna be a hearing. You're gonna leave it open to all the residents?
Are you, for the fees, you mean?
No, you
Yeah,
said.
there's gonna be it's a,
It's not a public hearing, it just can be done at a selectmen's meeting, there's no hearing required. Normally with fees on the general operations, you have to have a hearing, but not with water and sewer fees.
okay, so yeah, that's the question I had, is everyone can come from the public, but it's only the users that are affected. So I had the question, but
We looked at
That's the way it goes.
It's open to everybody, but unlike fees, these are rates and it's not
Yeah.
here.
Well, your user rates are one thing, but I'm also thinking the impact of closing the lagoons, the the residents need to be aware that that's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you got 5 years roughly, we're gonna have to start talking about that as it gets closer.
Yeah.
I live like a mile from there, and knowing
Yeah.
that it's not going there anymore is like crazy.
Yeah, and it'll be here before we know
Oh,
it.
I know.
Yeah, and awareness for our residents is important.
We talked about it quite a few meetings, when it was going on, this was 6, 8 months ago, he was track of time.
We did contact
Yeah.
some septic companies, and they didn't think they were gonna have to raise their rates that much going to North Conway or Conway, wherever it is, but I'll believe it when I see it, because
Yeah.
it seems like that would be a
Yeah.
significant
It
impact.
makes no sense, your trucking is a big part of it, if
Yeah.
you're tripling or quadrupling.
But you were there for that
this is-
conversation,
Yeah, it
so
doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
think they know yet, I
Yeah,
think.
driver's hours and everything, just
Absolutely.
for transport.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hey, Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer? Okay. We have ambulance.
So this is just the contracted amount, that's our 3% increase. Again, it can fluctuate more than that based on the call volume as a percentage of the total for the whole contract, but this is what our portion is this year, and it happened to be the 3% that we were planning on as a benchmark, so.
Okay, Lynn?
I don't have it.
Oh,
Let me take a peek.
yeah, yeah, you have it right here.
Oh, here, that's the extra page. Thank
Yep.
you. Okay. So, is this the last year for the renewal, or are you under new?
No,
new
the
contract
6
this year?
towns extended it, so I think we're out through 2029 if memory serves me.
2029?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
thank you.
Okay, Crystal? Susan?
I have a question, maybe I just have the wrong or not an updated contract, but what I had for information started in '25 at a rate of $376,000 and ended in 2029 at $423, going up 3% each year. I
Yep.
was wondering if you have an updated
So that
contract?
was the error that was talked about extensively before. Action hasn't done a formal amendment, but that's why the 6 towns had the selectmen at the meeting to sign off on the real amounts, because that was erroneous on their part. And
Because I know for the last 3 years, we've been around the 400 range, but,
well, it started at 390 something truly, and it's been up, 3 or 4%. It's benchmarked at 3% a year, but as the
Right.
percentages have changed. But the contracts, the page that you're referring to was a typo on Action Ambulance's part that they caught after the fact and was corrected at that recent regional meeting.
do you have any updated paperwork on that?
No,
or-
that's why we sent 6 towns worth of selectmen there, because Action was
Right.
supposed to provide that, and they haven't, so the
No, the
only,
fire chief didn't get it either, so that's why I was kind of missing it here. you
they were
know?
supposed to be presenting that for signing that night. Instead, there was that one pager that the selectmen each initialed, so right now, that's what documentation exists, but.
Well, at least we've been prepared by budgeting the correct amount. It's just I was kind of wondering why we were reflecting such a lower number, through that contract.
Their rep, and I don't want to say his name, but their
Right.
rep made a fatal flaw. He's no longer with the company, and it was
Mm-hmm.
fixed, and we agreed to uphold what we knew the right amount was, but again, should have, they were supposed to bring that amendment to the contract to that meeting and haven't yet, so I don't know what to say about that, but.
Well, I think it would be good to tell everybody what you mentioned at the selectmen's meeting and what they mentioned also at the ambulance meeting, was the insurance
Be glad
changing.
to,
Yes.
yeah, so the new legislation kicks in January. It's gonna regulate ambulances much like the PUC, Public Utilities Commission, regulates monopolies in the state being utilities. So there's gonna be studies done, they're gonna set rates, and the ambulances will be required to contract with all the insurance providers. So there's no more guessing game. There's a rate that will be somewhere around 3 times what the Medicaid or Medicare rate is, and you'll essentially know what you're paying, or the insurance company. Right now, they work with like one insurance company out of all of them. Going forward,
That was scary when they said they only do one insurance company.
Yeah.
So many insurance company, when you, and the last thing you need to worry about is an emergency using an ambulance, and to find out that you've got great coverage that you've been paying for, and they don't even accept it. That was just totally.
Fully. So I really
Yeah.
feel like this is a huge consumer protection thing. It's overdue. I'm sure
Right.
being from the emergency field, you would agree. I know the Action expects to take a $40,000 or $50,000 a year haircut based on the fact that they're not going to be able to price gouge as much. But it's going to help out all our taxpayers.
Yeah, so this bill, I remember hearing it on the House floor to debate when I was down there. And I ended up voting for it because some of the gouging, $20,000 ambulance rides, so I did vote for it. But testimony in committee from the ambulance companies was and that will have to be seen, that some of them are gonna go out of business because then they can't bill enough. This is gonna limit how much they can bill and their profitability, et cetera, but.
They're going to have to change your model, I guess.
Well, I
right?
guess, I mean, yeah, because just the current model as it was working wasn't working. So hopefully this is a positive direction and we'll see.
And our company is staffed better than they were previously. They're at a net 8 increase since when we met just a few months ago. I think you've been at both meetings.
Right,
Sue.
they said they have 8, yes.
8 additional, 10 came on and 2 left, so that was the other complaint from the fire chiefs, and I haven't seen any recent complaints. The chiefs seem, hopefully the village districts are satisfied. It seems like the chiefs are. So.
They're still keeping count, but yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It hasn't, yeah, it's
We hope they
tough.
do.
the trajectory is
Yeah.
going in a better direction. Hopefully that's the message.
Thank you.
Hey, Catherine? No? Edwina? Jennifer?
No, no questions, thank you.
Okay, the only question I have is, on people that are on Medicare, in state of New Hampshire, we're pretty much losing all the carriers except for Anthem. Anthem's gonna offer 2 plans. With those other carriers dropping out, how is that gonna affect the rates?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
They did mention that, and what happens is that they have, if they accept Medicare, they have to accept what the rate is, and they can't charge over and above. It's the same way now with the hospitals too, or they will not be able to bill Medicare if they, they go against it. At least that's what I had gathered from what they said at the meeting.
One thing I know that some of these ambulance companies have done in the past, and some of them are still doing, is whatever the rate is, like for Medicare, say Medicare, or an insurance company, has a negotiated rate. The client is only responsible for 20% of that. And a lot of these insurance companies, a lot of these ambulance companies are billing well over that.
That's gonna be prevented with this legislation. There's no more balanced billing where they're just gonna send you gotta pay the extra. That's what we're talking about here, is done away with.
But a lot of that law was already in effect,
Yeah.
but it was being done. So, just something for the selectmen to keep an eye on that. And I say, I don't know what Action has done. I know Stewart's did it. So,
Well,
It's
hopefully,
something-
if something's not right, people let us know. I mean, because we're not in the back of the ambulance, so they have to make a complaint. So hopefully that happens.
okay, revenue.
Okay, I don't really have much commentary here other than it's a best guess, which is a guess at best. So we went up, I don't even know what the percentage is. It looks like around 4 or 5% based on this year's trend. So a lot of that's just the vehicle registrations. We had the police station sell this year, so that line's gonna go down, which is 3501 sale of municipal properties. But other than that, I don't know. We try to figure the best we can. We don't know what the state portions will be, so I don't know.
It's a guess at best.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Okay, Lynn?
No questions, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, warrant articles.
So I'll just hit off the library CRF, the library was here. This was created last year, they're just putting more money away for future improvements to the library. It's really that simple. Paving, TJ can hit on paving.
This year worked really well. When you say you put in 400,000 or $1 million, you have to have a percentage of that left over after the paving's done to do your graveling, your shoulders, and you have to have some for line striping or whatever you want to do to the road. So this year worked out about perfect. We come out in 533, and Neil and I were able to talk to the paving company and have them let us borrow their gravel machine, go around and put gravel out. We have to rent some trucks to help us. 600,000 worked awesome. We were able to pave the roads. If anyone lives on the roads, they're a 2-inch base and a 1-inch top. You've got a good product at the end. Old 28 come out good. Granite Road, Beach Pond Road,
Deer Cove.
Isaac Buswell, Deer Cove. You can actually get some done, and it was refreshing to see that when we did the RFPs, we got more competitive bids from big paving companies that can lay out a lot of hot top fast. Also, we get a better per ton price. Hot top's like anything, you buy bulk, you get a better per ton price. So I think 600,000 is good for now. We're just fixing the pavement we have as of right now and not adding any. We did add Beach Pond Road because Wolfboro was paving right to our line, and we only have, how many feet? Probably 1,000, 1,200 feet, and it wouldn't work out so well if they had all that paved hill down to that our line, and then we had that little bit of dirt. So they gave us a really good deal on that, and we ended up basing it, so we got to top that next year. But Neil's here, he can speak to it too. But 600,000 really made a big difference, getting a lot of pavement done and done right. So.
Okay, any questions? Lynn?
All set, thank you.
Crystal?
Nope.
Susan?
No questions.
Catherine?
No.
Edwina?
I have one, the reval ETF.
That way, we haven't got to that one yet.
Oh, we're
Still
on line
paving.
by line? Oh, I thought this was for the whole page. Okay.
No paving.
No, all set.
No
Jennifer?
questions.
She had no
I
questions.
said no questions.
Oh, sorry, yeah, yeah. Okay, next one.
Government building ETF, we've talked about this for the past 5 or 6 years, is we have all these buildings, and right now we're barely maintaining. Gotta put some money away, because the town hall, for example, has a list that's a mile long of things that need to be done: electrical, plumbing, heating,
Stairs.
stairs, rails, the siding's falling off every day,
The
having to
lobby.
screw it on. You gotta put it away, and 100,000 doesn't go very far when you're fixing a building. So we got a lot of buildings, and we can't do any major improvements because we don't have the money.
But a
So
primary, some of the ideas we threw around in the last selectmen's meeting was the front stairs out front when you're facing the town hall down to the left. Redoing the lobby, we've talked about that for 3 or 4 years. The bathrooms with the employees, give them a bathroom and maybe do the other 2 bathrooms over, just making the town hall nice. When you come in, have it look like presentable. It's been a long
Okay.
time.
Lynn?
No questions, thank you.
Crystal?
Nope.
Susan?
Questions.
Catherine?
No,
Edwina?
no, I'm really happy to see this line.
All set.
Okay, next.
this is the one that we made a plan a while ago, and I'm glad to say we've stuck to it. It's 200,000 every year into the highway equipment CRF. That's working out great. We can not surprise the taxpayer with a big increase, because trucks aren't cheap anymore, and either graders or loaders or anything. So we do 200,000 this year. We're looking at if everything goes as planned, a chipper. The chipper we have, I believe, is an 88 or 87. It's done its duty went through the ice storm of 98. It's been through all the hurricanes and stuff, so it's been used a lot. We're gonna try to get a new one that will leave us probably 120, 130,000 in that budget, in that CRF for next year when we purchase a new 6-wheeler. So that's working out just as planned.
Okay, Lynn?
Sounds good, thank you.
Crystal?
Nope.
Susan?
No questions.
Catherine?
No,
Edwina?
all set.
Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, next.
Benefit pay, that's for
Bridge.
Bridge
Did I?
Bridge repair, that's 100,000.
That's what I did in the meeting.
We have two Bridges that we're looking at right now, they're not real bridges, they're box culverts, but they do classify as a bridge. One's on Newman Drew Road, one's on Granite Road. We've talked to, Neil and I both have talked to Mitchie Corp. They have a plan in place to redeck the one on Granite Road and put a wing wall on one side with new updated guardrails that meet MUTCD standards. The one on Newman Drew Road is just a replace, but as anyone knows, 100,000 doesn't go very far with bridges. But it's definitely putting more away than we used to, so we're hoping next year we can make one of those improvements, and then the next year after, make another one.
Okay, Lynn?
The one on Granite, is that where the water draw is?
What's that?
Is that where the Ossipee Corner water draw is on Granite?
Next one, the narrow one.
The next one, the narrow
Next
one,
one?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did one earlier,
I
well,
was
we
gonna
had
say,
to,
we
because it
just did
washed out,
that.
yeah. There's one that,
Yeah.
you'll see there's two like, concrete, guardrail things that really need to be replaced. And it'll be redecking that. I know there was talk that you guys paved over it and then you're gonna do it, but the way they do those is they cut it and then they redeck it, and then the next time you pave, you go over the top of it, so it doesn't matter that the pavement goes there. But the abutments are actually in good shape, it's just the deck and the one wing wall, so.
Okay, Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine?
No.
Edwina?
Good.
Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, next.
Benefit pay ETF is for when long timers retire with sizable portion of PTO saved up. We've pretty much been flat funding this every year, and asking for the same here.
Okay, Lynn?
No questions, thank you.
Crystal?
No
Susan?
questions.
No.
Catherine? Edwina?
All set.
Jennifer? The only question we got anybody that's looking to retire this year?
Not to my knowledge, but they don't always tell you, and
Yeah.
I
There's
don't,
no one planned.
yeah.
Okay. Alright, next.
I've worked with the police chief, and he's done, the biggest reason for this is paving the police station is because when Neil goes in there, or anyone at the highway department to plow it, we had I would say there's either a stump underneath the parking lot or something that's making like a sinkhole. The chief did a good job of putting a barrel out there, but we're gonna rip a plow off or something, that pavement's horrible. All the water runs right into the dirt lot, and with all the salt, it just keeps it soft all winter. And Neil's more excited about this than anything, because he has to plow it, so he's not gonna buy a cruiser, which was good of him and then we're gonna pave it. The other benefit is, he's done a good job of getting, when you pull into the PD, you have those nice signs and everything he's done there. This will really seal that place in. We're gonna pave all down back, and I wanna get it done because he, in the future, wants an impound lot. Well, if we put the fence in and then have to pave, it's gonna be backwards of the way it should be done. We've talked to fencing companies, we can pave it, and then they put the fence in, and he has a paved impound lot. So this, I believe, needs to be done, and it'll make it a lot better over there. We're gonna do the grading, we're gonna tear the hot top up, keep costs down. I talked to the guy today, he thinks this number's perfect. This was a guess on my part, and he come in right on, he said 80,000 should be fine, so.
Okay. Lynn?
So you're gonna screen the impound lot. What are you gonna do about the place across the street?
That's not me, that's the guy to your right.
Excuse me, did I say that?
You mean the post property? Yeah, trust me, I've had a couple calls, but you can only do so many at a time, and I got plenty on my plate right now.
I couldn't
Unless you wanna make
resist.
3 of me and.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
quadruple
resist it.
The legal line.
Okay, Crystal? Susan?
I like how you dropped the vehicle one down and put the paving, the importance of it was really good. I like that.
I will say one more thing, and the chief can speak to this, but I think a lot more people are coming to that police department. I mean, I was at this one a lot, and I'm at the new one a lot, and you see a lot more people. It's more like inviting, I would say. There's a lot more public coming there. Neil can't, with that pavement being all out of shape, you can't get all the ice and snow because the plows don't clean it. And this will help that, because we can clean it right down and
Safer.
flat and good surface, so.
Okay, Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
You are gonna take the stump out, right?
And we're gonna dig the stump out. We're gonna dig down and see what's there. We don't know what it is, but.
I know what's in there.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna get just one.
yeah, probably not.
Okay, next.
recreation ETF, we do this every year. It's for improvements that Justin wants to do.
Hopefully, long-term someday, we can do a community center or something at Constitution Park, but for now, we're just putting something in there to keep it alive and keep the dream alive.
Okay, Lynn,
No questions, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine?
Nope.
Edwina? Jennifer?
No questions.
Okay, next one?
Technology ETF is, I'm trying to, so our hardware is warranted for 5 years, and this is new, you may remember my spiel from last year, but we're trying to get more than 5 years out of the hardware, but to do so I need a backup plan for, so like our server, when it goes, is $40,000+ project. We're out of warranty a year now, and with 2026 planning, be out of it several years. We've got to have the money there, but obviously the technology company wants to sell us a new one now. They want to stay on 5 years for the computers too, the desktops. I'm trying to stretch it, but in order to do that, we have to have a backup plan when they do go. So I'm trying to stretch a buck, but we've put 20 in last year and trying to put another 20 in this year, and if the server goes, hopefully we can cover most of it with the ETF.
Okay, Lynn?
No questions, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Kath? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Okay, next?
Reval, same thing. This is old news. Every 3 to 5, we never make it 5. Every 3 to 4 years, we have to do a statistical reval. Cost is $200,000, so we've been putting around $60,000 in a year.
Lynn?
How's that working out with doing this, not the whole town at one time, sections?
As far as we know, good. We haven't done a statistical since then, so this is the the cyclical portion for them to evaluate sections. But considering, I'm super happy with the company. That's what I know. They've been great with the public. I think they're very accurate. They're the best in the business. I'm very,
We switched to Avatar, just so you know.
yeah, so
Okay.
we're really bullish and optimistic on
Okay,
Avatar.
good, thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine? Edwina? Jennifer?
All set.
Last one?
This was all on me. John's been running the building and zoning department truck. It's survived 3 police chiefs and 3 building and zoning department employees, so we've got what we can out of it. It's misfiring on a couple cylinders. It shouldn't be driving it now.
It makes it exciting to drive it, TJ. I like
Yeah.
it. Like it does this like I'm on a horse.
We always kind of give the building and zoning department a hand-me-down, but there really isn't anything. You need something with a little bit of ground clearance. We put this warrant article in for, it's not even a half ton, it's like a, I don't know, say quarter ton, but it's like a Tacoma Ranger Colorado thing that, better on gas. He just needs to be able to get there. That will last that department a long time, especially with Scott doing the undercoating. But that truck is just too far to, if I made Scott fix that, we'd probably need a mechanic, so. It's pretty rusted, it's done its duty, so gotta replace it.
Hey, Lynn?
I kind of question whether you're gonna get it for 45.
I've already called, we're actually gonna be around 40, the 5,000 I wanted to put in there because I'd like to put a 10-year warranty on it.
Okay,
With all new electronics and vehicles, I think a warranty is more valuable than the vehicle, so.
it is.
That's actually come in at 39.8, so I wanted to have a little bit of room in there to get that warranty, so.
So I could just add one thing, so being at this building and zoning office is part-time, and we've adjusted the fees over the last couple of years to get to the market rate. We're actually, I think we were up 50,000 net positive in that department last year, based on the revenue in versus what was paid out for operations, so, which you don't really see that, I mean, in town government. Transfer station's 300,000 in the hole. Half the budget comes from revenue, the other half is general taxation, so it's just the point of information, that's all.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I don't want to, in charge of the vehicles, I don't want John or anyone else, even for the taxpayer, to go out in whatever vehicle. They need a zoning department vehicle, so if you see him outside, you know what he is. It's not, if he shows up in a 1-ton from the highway department, you're gonna be like, what's this guy doing walking around my house? So we need something
Yeah.
that's dedicated to that.
Thank you.
Crystal? Susan?
No questions.
Catherine?
Oh, yeah, when you say undercoating, is that something that we do for all vehicles?
Every one of our vehicles get it. So we
Now,
use a,
now since TJ is the public works director,
Yeah,
And
they,
what is it though?
so we've gone through 3 different ones. We started, we had,
New Hampshire oil undercoating first.
well, we had one before that
Is it
too, but
fluid
it was something that come from that company, Shea or something, but it didn't work. And then we went to, yeah, we went to New Hampshire oil undercoating, which needs to be reapplied every year. Then we went to wax oil, which is out of Sweden, I believe. They've been using it forever, but you apply it, and then you only have to touch it up each year, and you can't pressure wash it off. And Scott's doing it right now to the trucks. So they show a 1972 Toyota pickup that has been in Vermont since 1972, and the frame looks brand new. So
Okay, so the product is wax oil?
wax oil, yeah, it's much more expensive, but you only do it once, so.
How much does it cost to do it?
It depends. If you're doing a pickup, it's around 120 bucks. With now that we have everything, it was $2,000 just to get the sprayer. But they do inside every cavity, all the rocker panels, everything. And we buy it bulk, so it's a lot cheaper than if you buy, for your own vehicle, it's pretty expensive, but we buy it bulk so we can do them all.
Mhm, okay, but it's definitely working, it's definitely,
Oh, yeah.
that's fantastic.
Okay, Edwina? Yeah, Jenna?
No questions.
All right. That's the last of those. And that's it for the night there. So, next week we've got outside agencies and precincts. The documents are due next week.
They're in.
So, anything else to come before the meeting? Anything the public would like to input, ask?
I have something, Dallas Emery.
Let's
Last
keep
week,
it short tonight. It was long last week.
I'm gonna bring up the same subject again. We talked about it, you said that most of the land is in, the conservation, or, current use land is in wetlands. That's not exactly true. 3% of it.
No, I said a lot of it is.
No, but that's not true. 3% of it is, 50% of it isn't. So when it is in wetlands, it doesn't get taxed at all. So you add that to conservation, that brings that up to 16%. Oh, and I also checked, there was never a study done by John Lynch. He did do a forwarding article when he was touting the program. It wasn't an actual study.
No, then you didn't find it, it's a study.
No.
Yeah, yeah, it's a full study, multi-page study, it wasn't a news article.
It was an article.
I know, but I read a study by him, it wasn't a news article.
Yeah, I looked for it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
It's there somewhere.
Anyway, I just want to bring those two things up. And as far as the water and sewer, that's going to be painful to most of the people in town. They're on the system. There's only, 350, 360 people that are paying for that, so they didn't get any say in it. They're not going to get any say in it, and the price is just going to go up. So
It's either raise the rates or sell the system.
I just don't understand what the state's problem is with our lagoons, because a couple of years ago, we didn't have a problem with our lagoons. They said our lagoons were perfect.
it's all that PFAS related, those forever
Right.
chemicals, that's
Right,
the whole.
which is not our fault.
And what frustrates me is they had to spend $25,000 on a bar rack and then tell us 5 years later they're closing it. If I would've known that, we would not have done the bar rack.
Right. I remember this
Yeah.
conversation where everything was great. You had the state come in, the lagoons were the best lagoons around, actually.
Yep.
And now we have to get rid of them.
Yep.
Makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Us either, we went to Concord thinking we could change their minds.
Well,
Didn't happen.
I don't even think they know what they're doing, to tell you the truth, so, you know. Anyway, I'll leave it alone.
Not wrong.
Okay. Any other input? Yes.
If the state mandated that you can't collect the septage, then why aren't they paying you something for that? How can
No,
they create,
because they're
is it legislation that changed it?
They're not mandating us that we don't collect our sewerage from our system. That, lagoons are a total separate part from our system. They are haulers coming in. They can come from Effingham, Freedom. They really could come from anywhere. They can tell you where they're coming from, but it's haulers hauling it in, like Lakes Region, DJ Septic. That's a totally different part from the Ossipee water and sewer system. The system has leach beds down there, which all the septic runs from the town. down to the pump station at the bottom of the hill, then it pumps it to this big tanks down there to get all the solids, and then the leach material, gray water, goes to Camp David to the leach bed. So it's a separate system. They're just closing pretty much our revenue source.
So we, just to add on to you, Ed, they're not saying we can't do haulers. We can, but we have to comply with all the new regulations, which basically, in essence, is a sewer treatment facility to bring it in.
So may I, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
So in the past, I don't know how long ago, you created this to have an extra revenue stream. So this was really only for you originally, but then you added on using it for everybody.
We've added on lagoons, but the other thing they said we can do, which makes no sense to me, is we can fill those lagoons, have them pumped out into trucks, and then hauled to a treatment plant. Well,
That's a risk,
Defeats the
though.
purpose.
that would be
And there was a
double the
risk with that,
cost. So
Defeats the purpose.
they give you all the solutions, but there's no good solution.
Just one
You're out
last,
of here, chief.
just one last thing. The sheriff, pay attention. The sheriff obviously has decided, and I don't recall this in any selectmen's, in the commissioners meeting, that that he put in his budget to move to this other software. Now, if that's kind of mandated because you have to have it, why isn't the sheriff or the county compensating you?
So I think the answer is, we choose not to have our own 911 system like Wolfboro or I think Conway. We're part of the sheriff's system by choice. We can have our own 911 system, but that cost would be through the roof. Dispatching.
So that's what the software is?
Correct. Yep, because the sheriff's upgrading the 911 system, we're part of it. So if you want to be part of our system, you got to pay the fee to upgrade it.
I got my clarification, thank you.
Okay, all set? Anybody else?
I'm Marie
Yeah.
McConaty, West Ossipee. The ambulance service, so how many, you just entered into another 6-year?
The 6-town collective renewed it before the 5-year was even up, so
Okay.
I think it started in 20, so it might even be 2030 that it's till,
Then it's till 2030.
it might be 30.
And how many ambulances do they have? Do you know how many ambulances they have that serve this area?
I think is there two, Sue, do you recall, is there 2 or 3 on at any one time?
There's there's three, there's what, one ALS and two BLS?
Thank you. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember the
Two in
terminology, so,
Ossipee and one in Tamworth.
Tamworth.
so two advanced and 1 basic, is that right?
One paramedic,
Yeah.
could be one advance, could be one BLS is the other trucks.
Which is basic, right?
Yeah, BLS is a basic truck.
These meetings are full of acronyms that I don't understand, so,
So-
thank you, Dave.
Paramedic level will be a paramedic and a basic or ALS EMT as their partner. BLS truck is strictly 2 EMTs. That's the lowest level of provider, licensed provider. And then an A level truck would have either 1 or 2 ALS personnel in it, and either a BLS or an ALS is their partner. And it's the middle. So you got paramedic, basic,
I don't.
intermediate.
So the 3 ambulances.
Right, so there's 3 ambulances. Now, Center Ossipee has an ambulance, right?
Yes.
They use down, does the town ever have anything to do with that?
The town doesn't.
The town doesn't, but they go
Just the
out,
precinct,
just the
yes.
precinct, so do they just go to Center Ossipee or they go?
We get called mutually to any town. Over the summer, we were in Freedom transporting, Effingham for transporting, Tamworth transporting, Corner and West Ossipee transporting.
But that has nothing to do.
And the best part about all that was when they weren't able to provide ambulance coverage for us, we were able to do the transports, and we've set up a billing system now and been able to bill the insurance companies for the transports.
But that's totally separate.
Totally separate from,
The ambulance. So is there any way that the town is ever gonna get involved with any of the departments with ambulances or
So what do you mean, starting our own?
starting our own
Well,
service,
I
our
just,
own ambulance
we never
service?
studied a dollar figure, but if you look at what it takes to man a police department with 9,
Yeah.
it's $1.5 million to run that department. That's mostly all just personnel.
Right,
To do an ambulance service 24/7 with the kind of coverage, it would be it'd be way more than $464,000.
I wasn't aware of what the amount was.
464, it would be,
464, yeah.
be through the
Yeah,
roof.
no, I
I know
agree.
Wakefield has an ambulance service, and I think it's $1.5 million, I was told a few years ago, or
Right.
more,
Right.
so.
No, that was it.
There was a study done by, I believe it was MRI, here years ago.
About the fire.
On the fire precincts and the rescue to, at that point, maybe merge the departments together. And basically the study came down to that, yeah, you could, but you're really not gonna gain anything because of the additional costs to do, to do that because of manpower. You'd have to have a lot more full-time manpower versus paid call. So, basically their determination was, it's not really worth it. We'd have to add a station out in, down beyond Abbott's
Right.
and that.
Satellite stations.
So, we wouldn't be reducing any trucks, we would be adding manpower. The
Yep.
only place you'd save is maybe on some of the small pieces of equipment.
Right. I was just curious with the ambulance, what was going on.
I have one other question. It was part of the conference we went to. Now, if they cannot provide transportation because they're down trucks and someone else has to transport them, isn't it in their contract that they pay a penalty for not having that? Have they been doing that?
They've not been assessed or paid any penalties that I'm aware of.
Because I know we did 5 transports that they were unable, and there's been times when a firefighter has to go because they only have one person driving an ambulance. You can't take care of a patient and drive an ambulance with one person. And so a firefighter would, jump in and everything else. But I didn't know if whether, because they did mention it to the 6 towns, that they could actually be reimbursed. I mean, we're paying these people, I mean, they're getting that money from 6 communities, so it's well over $1 million. I mean, let's face it, we're giving them 400. So, I mean, maybe there's something to get money back that because we're paying for it. Now I'm paying for, precinct to send out personnel, so I'm double paying. That's the way I look at it.
So I think that's great, and I think if you guys encounter that in your area, they should pass it along to Matt, and Matt can look into whether or not there is a reimbursement or penalty mechanism.
But I thought I saw that in the contract, but again, that's an old contract, because the money was different and everything else.
The contract terms have not changed, so
Okay.
that is in there. None of the towns have played hardball with that yet. They come to the meetings, the ambulance company comes to the meetings, smooths things over, and usually that's the end of it.
And then they're short-staffed again, and then here we go again, and so, okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, as I say, next week is outside agencies. So a motion to adjourn is in order. One, you got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want a donut?
Yes.
We have donuts.
Our, police chief left.
I know. Hey, Matt.
Yes, sure.
You wanna make sure Chief gets his extra donut?
He didn't seem to think it was as funny as we did. I don't know. I'll let you.